Welcome everyone to another episode of Two Men No Hope. I'm tired. My name's Daniel, and I'm with Peppy Jamie. You sounded Mexican, Peppy Jamie.
Hey,
Hey.
Bit of casual
I'm not that
racism
bad.
there.
Yeah. No, I'm not that. I'm in a mood with everyone, just for the sake of it, because I overslept from a nap, which ruined all my plans, and now I can't get them back. I can't get them back, Jamie.
And you end up having a strange dinner again, once again.
3 Kit Kats and a bowl of chips. Well, I've got nothing else, Jamie. I'm trying to eat better, and
That's eating
you know
better.
what I mean? I'm trying. Well, that's all I had left. I don't buy bad food, which is the easiest food, because of that reason. And then I got up and I'm like, great, I've got 20 minutes. I can't make my normal. I was gonna have like chicken, sweet potato, and something else. That's gonna take at least half an hour.
I would have said to you, "Oh, we'll do it 20 minutes earlier," and then we'd come off earlier. That's what I would have done.
No, because I'm starving. Because I'm trying not to snack. So I got home and I went straight to bed to stop myself snacking. So I got up and I'm starving. This is why I'm angry. I'm angry with myself, James, internally. That I'm now projected into this podcast. I'll be okay. I might be a bit another 10 minutes of crabbiness, but I'll be okay.
You can't be as angry as I was yesterday, Dan, when I discovered that one of my purchases again had gone terribly wrong.
If that had happened today, this beginning of this podcast would have been completely different. You and your obsessive TikTok ordering.
Yeah, so I basically I decided. Well, I figured out that I could buy an air fryer. I'll start off with the positives. I figured out I could buy an air fryer, even though I've already got one, but I bought it for work for £8. So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to try it and see if I can buy it. So I bought it, and then that opened up the world of TikTok shop to me, and then I went...
But before you move on, explain the £8 thing to me, because that felt to me like a con, because I later on went on there to see how much you paid for it, and it was a completely different price.
No, it's £8.
But when I looked on there, it was £22.
Yeah, because you have to be a first-time buyer.
So all these people on TikTok that are like, run to the TikTok shop, it's £8.
Yeah.
If I've already bought something, that's then not £8 for me.
No, because I'd already bought it. But if someone had never bought anything on TikTok shop before, it would have been £8 on the deal.
Well, I think all these TikTokers should be saying that. Quick, everyone, run to the TikTok shop. If you've never bought anything before, this one's £8.
What they should also do, Dan, is when I'm clicking on... I've got a video of a mat that is bigger than someone's living room, yeah? Or a rug. And I get it, and when it arrives, it's not much bigger than my Jack Russell.
I think you definitely made a mistake, because when I looked at your purchase, I thought to myself, I was like, oh, Jamie didn't buy the big one.
I clicked the link in the video, and it went to that. I didn't even look at dimensions. Again, I've fucked up. This is the second time in 5 years that I've attempted to buy a rug online on the cheap, and I've managed to get a fucking rug that's no much bigger than my fucking dog. And when Charlotte saw it, she was just cracked up laughing. To make it even worse, is I moved all of my furniture in the living room before I unrolled it. So,
Yeah, look, you can see. I don't know if you can see far away. You can see the rug isn't very big.
I didn't look at the picture, Dan. I didn't look at the picture. I clicked on the video and I clicked on buy, and that was it.
Like it's the size of like a bath mat.
Yeah.
In the picture.
Yeah. But in the video, when she was advertising it, it's the size of the woman's living room.
Oh, did you pick a size as well?
Yeah. I went for the biggest.
Okay. Oh, 80 by 160 centimetres?
Yeah. Which is nothing.
Oh, wait, people have got pictures here in the reviews. Yeah, it's tiny.
Yeah.
Perfect for my living room. Love it. It's not you, is it, Jamie?
Whose living room is that small? No one's.
Just like the picture, just as described.
Fucking unbelievable. I couldn't believe it. And I was like, Rocco sat on it instantly as well. And I was just literally sitting there. And I was getting more and more. Every time I glanced over and looked at it, I was getting more and more angry. And then I put all of the furniture back. I put my old mat back down and put all the furniture back. And then I text Charlotte of the picture I sent you of Rocco sitting on it. And she was like, I can't believe you've done it again. I was like, I know. I done it again.
There's one here that says, really disappointed with length. Will be giving to a local charity.
Giving to a local charity? I'm going to burn mine in the garden. It's going to be burnt.
I love reading people's things. Comments. Haven't used this item yet, but happy with the rug for the price I paid.
How can you be happy
She's
with
got
it
a
if you've
shot.
not used it, you fucking donut?
Yeah. She's going to be shocked when she opens it up and it's fucking...
Quarter the size
like
it's supposed to be.
Tea towel. It's exactly as it looks, but the sizing is quite small.
Yeah. In one of the videos I clicked on for it, the woman actually disappears into the back of the mat. It's that big. Like, you can't see her.
That's why it's all a scam. You wait till we get... What do you say? We need 1,000 followers to sell stuff on TikTok. I'm gonna be fucking whitewashing everyone. You wait on this thing. I'm gonna
Be grifting people on fucking TikTok.
We'll get emails in from the listeners just purely on my recommendations for the TikTok shop.
When it happened to me a few years ago when I lived in the flat, I bought that mat was even smaller. That was a doormat that I had actually ordered, and I bought that from Amazon. And someone stole my package.
Oh yeah, I remember you saying.
Yeah, they stole the package, and then I fought to get another one sent out to me, saying that I hadn't received it. It arrived and it had felt on the bottom of it, so when you stood on it, it just flew away like Aladdin's carpet. It was unbelievable.
I remember you saying about like enjoy the fucking mat, you dickheads that who stole it.
Yeah.
And you found out how big it was.
Oh mate. And the thing is, with this one, I thought it's supposed to be anti-slip as well. Is it fuck?
That's a load of shit.
Is it fuck?
Even when you buy the little squares yourself, they're not anti-slip either.
No. Rocco ran and was chasing his ball earlier, and then he just got folded up into it and fucking flew into his bed at the end of it. I was like, I need to pick it up because it's just making me angry.
You're better off just screwing him into the fucking floor, on the corners.
I'm gonna fucking burn it, Dan. It's getting burnt. I
Wait
might
till we come down and we'll do a burning ceremony.
Yeah, I might wait. Yeah, I might do.
We'll do a live stream of all of us burning your rug.
I don't know what it will be like though. It might kill us with like the fumes.
The fumes coming off it.
Or it won't burn. It'll be like some fucking magic rug that won't burn.
TikTok's not allowing it. It's made £8, made from the most like secret of fabric.
Made by Chinese children. Unbelievable, man. I just like once again I'm officially now banned from ordering anything with any dimensions at all.
Yeah, I can't do that. I ordered a poster once and it came A4.
No, mate.
I had a frame. I don't know how I managed to buy a frame and still got the dimensions wrong.
Oh, what, you bought a separate frame?
Yeah, because I was like, oh man, this could look excellent. It was right in the centre of this massive frame. Fucking stupid. I probably still got it somewhere because I'm a hoarder.
Mate.
Dimensions, you know what I mean? Can't live with them.
Pisses me off, man.
I finally got my hair cut.
Oh yes, for the listeners have won their argument.
Well, it wasn't really an argument. It was like I don't know. I've never really done anything with my hair. I think that's why I was really sort of like skeptical of doing it. And then there's that whole thing as well as like, what if I do something with it and I don't like it?
Yeah,
I've just paid someone money.
Was that because on the video, it said lost my barber virginity. Was that the first? That's not the first time you've been to a barber, is it?
I've been in a barber. I went into one with like Jim when I went for his wedding.
Yeah.
But I've never had my hair cut by anyone but my mum.
Oh, really? That's crazy.
Yeah, because my dad was always like shave it off, and I've just stuck with it. And I had really like crazy curly hair.
Yeah.
When I was younger, when all my hormones and that were active. Now that I'm old and placid, like my hair doesn't do nothing.
Your hair's just gone limp.
Fuck. Yeah. Because I said to him, I showed him a picture of what I wanted, and I was like, I don't know if I've got enough hair for this. And he goes, oh, we'll see how we can do. And then he goes to me later on, yeah, your hair's a bit flat, isn't it? I'm like, yep. I had beautiful curls that I was embarrassed by when I was younger, and now it's nothing.
Could always get a perm.
Fuck that. Fuck that. But yeah, I was gonna do like a whole thing because I was told that it was like busy in there. So I said to Spina, I was like, "Oh, we'll go in. I'll just book it, and then tomorrow I can do like a, it's happening, guys. You could see the before and after."
Oh yeah.
And then when we went in there, it was dead, and he was like, "Oh, no, I'm not open tomorrow because apparently he's like a party animal."
Ah, right.
So even though it's on Google, he's like, "Oh no, we're not open tomorrow." He's like, "I could do you now though." I was like, "All right."
Yeah.
So I was like, boom, sat in the chair. But it was like, I felt, once it was done, I was like, oh yeah, I understand now that fresh feeling when you're like, yeah, it's banging. I got outside, and it was like Superman first getting his powers when he was a fucking teenager. The back of my head had no idea what it was doing. It was like hot, it was cold, I was like burning up, and I'm going to Spina, is my head red? Is the back of my head red? And she's like, no. And I'm like, it's hot. Like red fucking hot. I couldn't control the temperature coming out the back of my head. It was like a fucking broken furnace back there. Like obviously I was trying to like, so it's only just today. It's like what, 4 days old. My back of my head's only just now like.
Yeah, you get used to it. That's the fresh feeling, man. The fresh feeling.
I said to him, I was like, careful with me, man. I was like, I'm a virgin. And he just starts going, I'm like, fucking hair's going everywhere. I've got my glasses off, so I can't see what's going on. Just hair's falling in front of me like Christmas.
I always get, even though I trust my barber, I've had my barber now I've had 2 barbers over the years. The guy that used to be in Luton that I used to go to before my shift changed, but now my shifts have changed, there's a guy by me. And I always trust him. But when I'm halfway through a haircut and I see, like, because when you get in a fade especially, they go around the edge.
Yeah.
And you look like fucking Forrest Gump in it. And I'm like, mate, if he doesn't clean up them lines, and then he always does, every time, but I'm always in a slight panic that he's going to leave it. Because I'm so weird about things that I would just say, yeah, that's fine, and I'll go home and cry.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I understand that as well.
Yeah.
Like why women are like, he's ruined my hair, even though sometimes it doesn't look like it. But yeah, no, it's good. I'll probably go back to him again. I'm quite enjoy it, to be honest. It's nice to finally be able to do something.
It's quite therapeutic, isn't it? And it suits you.
Well, yeah, it does, doesn't it? Not that you can really see and thing, but yeah, he tied my beard up as well, which made me feel happy as well. So I quickly went from homeless to mansion.
I'm getting my skin fade done Friday before I head off to my brother's stag do. It's gonna.
Oh yeah, you got it. Yeah.
Gonna be fresh, fresh and ready.
Yeah, because I go to Prague in a couple of weeks, so I'm probably gonna pop in and be like, because I'm meeting all of her family. Because I said to her, to Spina, I was like, oh, I'll go in and I'll top it up. She's like, you don't have to, and I'm like, it's the first time I'm meeting, and I've got a pretty fresh look going on. I was like, I'm gonna top that up. There's no way I'm going all that way and not.
Yeah, I try to maintain like every 3 weeks because then it makes it you don't grow back too much.
I can imagine it looks quite weird as well, like with the top of your head's really long and the back of your head's a bit odd.
It's not too bad, but I struggle with because when you've had the skin, well now you will know now you've had a skin fade. It starts like it's really clean cut on the day. And then the next like week, you're almost back to like normal stubble on the side. And then when it gets to, I can start feeling like a little bit of length here. I like start getting itchy, and I start like thinking, do I book myself in just a week and then book myself in again next week if it doesn't time right with what I'm doing and stuff? because I can just pay for like 15 quid and just go and get the skin fade topped up and just don't touch the top. So I have done that.
Yeah, it's a pain. Because that's what was a point of mine. Because I still get curly like round my ears.
Yeah.
And with like my hat on and stuff at work, the hair was going in my ears. It was driving me mad.
Yeah.
So a lot of hair talk today. I've been listening to Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
And I'm listening to like a lot of comedians come on there, and they're all saying about having bits and things like that. And I'm just like, I still don't understand how they come up with something that they know that's going to be funny.
Years
Obviously,
and years
they
of
test
stand-up
it.
And
yeah,
you know what people react
I'd love to be able to do it, but I don't know, man. Because they're like the best learning performances you do as stand-up because are the ones when people don't laugh, and I'm like, that would break me. Like, if I stand there and nobody laughed, I'd be like, that's it, I'm done.
Yeah, I remember. Do you remember we went to the comedy club in Edinburgh, and that the girl in the middle act, she had a bit of a fumble, and people started murmuring and didn't laugh. You could see she like picked that right back up. I would be like, okay, guys, see you later.
Yeah. like when I was talking about my when I was first learning to drive, and I said to my driving instructor, I'm like, if I know that I failed on my lesson, I'm just getting out of the car. He's like, you can't do that. And I was like, I paid for that lesson, I'll get out of the fucking car. I was like, I'm not joyriding this person around knowing that I'm not getting my license at the end of it. You can fuck off. That's what I'd be, exactly like that. I'd be like, people stop laughing, and I'd be like, okay, thanks for the money, and then just walk away. That's what you paid for.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think a good comedian sees the world differently.
They do, yeah. And like when you listen to like the likes of like Ramesh Ranganathan and Tom Davis and stuff, they're all very derogatory towards themselves. Like they're always very depressing towards themselves, which is very much me and you. We talk ourselves down all the time, but they seem to be able to make that switch when they walk out onto the stage. Which, if I'm in a bad mood, I cannot switch out of that quickly.
No, that's what I mean. Like I said at the beginning of the podcast, after like 20 minutes, I'll be alright. But that first like trying to get motivated. And it's like, oh, fuck it. Yeah, because then I was like trying to think about bits, like what I would say if I was like stand up. And I was thinking to myself, oh, you notice how all dogs must have like foot fetishes, like they're obsessed with them, like they steal socks, and like my nan's dog used to lick her feet. It's the most disgusting thing in the world. But do you think all dogs are like bred to love feet? Is it because they're down by your feet? They're like, oh, look at that, some big old toes on that one. And then I was thinking to myself, well, what about when you're walking the dog? Do you think that their popularity is how big your feet is? Like they're sitting in their little group and they'll be like, oh, how big's your owner's feet? And they're like, oh, he's got a size 10. Whoa. And then the little trail comes along and goes, oh, my owner's feet's only a size 6. Fuck off. Get out of here. Come back when you got a size 8.
That is like the most random thought process ever.
Yeah. That's what I do in like 9 hours of standing doing it. And I've just got this image in my head of like the dogs waiting for you to come home, and you're like, oh, I always get the warmest welcomes from my dog when I come home. Really, all they want to do is smell your feet.
Yeah, they do like you.
Come in the door, and they're like, oh, take your shoes off, take your shoes off, take your shoes. And they're like, their tails are wagging, and you're like, oh, they're so happy to see me. And they're like, you better have stopped for Starbucks to get that couple of hours of sweat at your feet. Take it off. They're like sniffing really heavily around your feet. Dirty bastards. Dirty bastards. Dogs are fucking disgusting, man.
They are disgusting, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can still remember my nan's dog was called Tessa, and she used to take her shoes off after like, because she used to walk she couldn't drive. So she would like walk to town, well, you know that she lived in the village, and then walk back, and she'd like stand and do all the dinner and stuff like that, and then she would sit down and take her shoes off, and then Tessa would be right in there between the toes. Man. Yeah, and I'm like, you're a fucking minging dog. And then like they'd lick your face, you're like, dogs are minging. But yeah, anyway, that's my thought process. But yeah, I was laughing. I said in Monday's conspiracy. No, fucking time travel. Last Monday's conspiracy theory that I went to a party and I was just plugging the fucking podcast.
I was ya.
Like full fucking whack. Yeah, because I go out with them. Sabina's mates. We've been to like they came over and we had like a ball game night. And we do quite a lot with them.
Yeah.
And it was his birthday, and we did like a surprise thing. But obviously, they're all his friends. So at first, I felt really sort of like I just sort of stood on the outside.
Yeah.
And then one by one, they all sort of came over and spoke to me. They're all really nice guys. Like it was a really good night. And I was just using ammo from the podcast. It was like fucking. That is the stand up. Just all I have to do is just recite things that we say on here, and I know they're gonna get laughs. And the guy come out, and they were saying to him like, "Why are you in there so long?" He was like, "I was taking a shit." And then he started talking about wiping, and I was like, "Oh, we were talking about that on the podcast."
Mm.
I was like, "My mate makes himself a little tissue mitt," and he was like cracking up. And then the other guy come over, and I was talking to him about something I can't remember, a conspiracy episode that you were talking about, and he's like, "Oh man, I love a conspiracy theory." So then I got like, a whole fucking room, and every time I was like, "Oh yeah, we did that on the podcast. Oh yeah, we do that on a Monday. Oh, on a Wednesday I do this. Oh, and then on a Friday." It's like the whole night plugging away.
That's what we've got to do. Get that bank.
But I understand why people are like because everyone in their fucking mum's got a podcast.
Yeah, they have. Yeah. Especially
So I understand.
Since lockdown, a lot of comedians were given the option to either write a book or start a podcast because they can't do any stand-up.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why there's been a massive increase since lockdown.
Yeah. And that's why people are like sick of it. Like, "Oh, let me guess you've got a podcast." Like, yeah, I have. Yeah, it's pretty good actually. Fuck you.
Well, we've had a podcast that's pretty... It's not like a fresh out the gate one. We've been going for like a year, so pretty established now. Do you know what I mean?
Well, it was pretty good from the beginning. I keep looking at. We had a massive jump in listens today.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like I got in my car and I was like, because obviously you know what I'm like now, my habits. And I was like, "Oh, I'll have a quick look." Ah, boom! And I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I had a quick look again. That was good. You know what I mean? I was like, "That's pretty good." My mum's gone on a cruise today.
Cruise?
Yeah, Mediterranean cruise. She's had to fly to Spain, somewhere in Spain.
Oh yeah, we were looking to do that.
Yeah, and she's got it's cost her. Cruises are such a fucking rip off, man. Like, if I ever had a lot of money, beside my cult, I would own a cruise ship because you pay for your room. And then obviously, if you want a better room, you have to pay more money. That's standard. I get that. Everyone has to be tipped. All the workers have to be tipped. So you can either take money with you and tip them, or you can buy a tip packet where you pay all your tips already, and that gets disputed. Then you've got to buy your drinks. So if you want like a moderate drink package where you get like 2 drinks a day, who has that when they're on a cruise? That's fucking ridiculous. Or you can have like full whack. Then you've got your dinner packages. Then you've got your excursion packages, and then you've got activities on the boat packages. It's like, so what if I just want to be on the fucking boat? I can't do anything. You don't let me eat. You don't let me drink. No one will help me because I won't tip them. So
I always assumed that cruise ships would be like all inclusive.
No,
not
even fucking close.
Who you got to tip though? I wouldn't tip no one.
Everyone.
Fuck them.
Everyone that works there, you're supposed to tip if you don't buy a tip packet. That's mental, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like that, they're there working. They live on a boat. They get all their food for free, and they're getting paid. And I'm still supposed to fucking tip them.
Nah,
you having a fucking laugh, in you? Cruising the world, and I'm tipping them. Nah. I'm sorry. Like obviously, I'm not a massive against tipping. Like, if you do a good job in a restaurant and stuff like that, I'm happy to tip. But I'm not going to pay for a holiday where you're at work, getting everything for free, spending no money, and I'm supposed to pay you more.
Yeah.
Nah.
It's fucking insane.
Yeah.
When I was looking before, it was like an all-inclusive package. drinks and food, and then we could choose to pay for extra for the restaurants if we wanted to.
I bet when you sit down, I bet they'd be like, oh, but do you want this as well? And do you want that as well?
Maybe, possibly.
And then you got obviously like if you want to get off the boat, you got to pay for all of that. Mum's going to like Pompeii and Venice, and which made me laugh because on Joe Rogan's today, or not today, I was listening to had the Jewish comedian Ari
Shafira.
Yeah. And he was like, oh, Venice is amazing, but you've got to pick your times to go there because now they allow cruise ships to dock there. He's like, it's just a shit show. It's like, it could be the most beautiful place, and then in a second, there's like 1,000 people, more than that, who've got this fucking cruise ship. And Joe Rogan's like, yeah, I know, we were on a gondola, and we were in a queue on the water. There were so many people in these boats. There was no water.
Fuck
it was just
boats. Hell, man.
He was like, it was the most unromantic thing I've ever done. And I'm just like, that's mum in about 2 days when she gets to fucking bed. Oh well, we always find a thing to ruin it. But apparently, there's been a couple cruise ships crashing into like the harbours in Venice. So they're talking about whether or not to. They love the money from the cruise ships, but they don't like all the trouble.
Well, I can imagine it's a fucking massive boat, and I can't imagine Venice has got a huge harbour. I can imagine it's quite small.
No. I don't know. Looks like a nice place, but I just imagine it being really fishy. I don't know why.
Fishy?
Yeah, because it's all water, isn't it? Like, everywhere's water. It's floating. It's not floating, it's above water, though, but it's like, it's not land, is it?
Yeah, but, it's like a mixture. It's like, there's a lot of canals, basically, essentially.
Nah, not my cup of tea. I'd much rather go to, like, Athens or go see like the Colosseum or something.
Colosseum's alright. You get absolutely molested by fucking little like ticket people trying to get you to fucking get in on them. Like,
oh yeah.
Like there's because there's no like actual official like tours. There's just hundreds of fucking like Somalian guys doing tours. And then, like, you just walk up and then you just get herded together like a bunch of cattle. And then, like, they're just like, have you paid? Have you paid? Have you paid? Come in this way. Come in this way. And then they, like, fuck off and they run with, like, a stick. And you got to follow them into the fucking Colosseum. It was a right nightmare. But once I was in there, I just fucking detached myself from the group and just went off and did what I wanted.
Yeah, I'll be like, no, I'm not paying you nothing, mate. I was, I don't think I've spoken on here. There was a couple at work that went to Turkey, and I was like, "Oh, how was it?" And they were like, I was talking to you about it?" And she was like, "Oh, yeah, it was really good, but when you're in the markets, they just don't fucking leave you alone. They're like grabbing you and pulling you into shops." So I'm like, "I'm fucking swinging." Someone puts their hands on me, man. I don't like that.
That's why, like, when I get to a lot of holiday destinations, they did it to me in Crete, not Crete, Rhodes. When they say to me, like, one of the excursions would be like, oh, you can spend a day down the local market. I never go to the fucking local market. Because every time I've been talked into that, it's happened when I was young and naive. I get there and they just are, like, absolutely on top of you. And that's not my deal, innit? I don't do shit like that. So I'm not interested in shopping anyway, because I've barely come over with the amount that I'm allowed in my suitcase anyway. I've just about made it. There's no room for me buy shit and bring back. Do you know what I mean? So there's no need for it. I'm not one for the local markets.
No.
Never, no matter what country I'm in.
Mate. I'll put my hands on you.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck that. It made me laugh as well, because when you were posting all those photos from Rhodes, Sabina kept going, he's wearing black again. I was like, I know. It could be blistering fucking hot. And Jamie's wearing black shorts, a black top and a black hat.
Yep. I'm partially goth. Partially goth. Nah, a lot of the time I would always wear a black t-shirt, but I would have different colour shorts on. But I'm not one for like going around wearing like a fucking. Do you know when you see a geezer and he's wearing like a fucking like flower top or something? I'm not that type of guy. Or what I really hate, my pet hate when I go abroad, is fat British guys wearing football tops. like a 2008
yeah.
fucking David Beckham top, yeah, that he bought in 2008 when he was that size, and he's squeezed himself into it, and he looks like a Slim Jim. Fucking, it looks like a. Do you know what he looks like? When you like get like the deformed sausage in the pack, that's what he looks like. Do you know?
It's like smushed and
it's all smushed in the corner, yeah, and just misshapen. And there's always about 8 blokes like that in every hotel I go to. I'm just like, you let the British down.
I always want to go to Benidorm, and I think that's what that looks like.
Yeah, the whole of Benidorm would look like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That and like when people tan so much they look like a brown leather bag.
So, Joe Rogan was. I keep talking about Joe Rogan. He was talking about that. He goes, "How comes people can't do blackface, but they can bronze? It's like they're trying to look Brazilian. It's like, why is that all right?
Yeah.
For a woman to bronze herself, but you can't do blackface."
There was one woman when I was in away, and she was tanning that much that her body had gone like burgundy.
Oh.
And it was like shiny.
Leathery.
It looked like when you overdone pork.
Oh.
It was really strange. And she was walking around. She had like her face was like she looked like fucking Gandhi with her fucking wrinkles on her face, and she was like the colour of a fucking like a textbook from school. It was awful.
Fuck yeah! You just look at some people and you're like, you've got skin cancer.
Yeah.
If you haven't,
it's coming.
Like you're a marvel.
It's coming.
They need to remove your skin and study it.
Yeah.
For why you haven't got skin cancer. Okay, so please remember that all the opinions in the show are those of the hosts and should only be taken as food for thought. We're in no way telling you to do anything. Everything is kept anonymous for the safety of the listeners, and no information is shared to anyone else. If you are easily offended by people's opinions and views, then thank you for making it this far, but this is not the podcast for you. And please enjoy the show. Not that you haven't been enjoying the 30 minutes of us moaning.
Yeah, we went through a trial and tribulation. Started off with TikTok purchases, went to haircuts.
Dogs loving feet. Hey boys, thanks for you and your guests on the advice given. It made me feel a lot better about my situation. About men and their personal hygiene.
Oh, yeah.
I've met a new guy and it seems promising, so I'm hoping it all goes well. I don't want to come across too keen, but he can't see me as much as I would like because he has a daughter, and he doesn't introduce new people to her unless he knows they're going to be serious. It's just been under a month, and I feel although it's time so we can spend more time together, and now I can get to know his daughter. Any advice will be helpful, thank you. That's still quite early. Less than a month.
It is very early, I think. Yeah, I think you need to be a bit more patient there, to be fair.
Yeah.
I think 6-7 months is...
Alright, Jamie, fucking hell. How, you want to go backwards?
Huh?
So, I mean, like, say, even if, like, you saw her, like, once every couple of weeks, I mean, I'd say 3 months would be alright. That'd be, like, what, 6 to 8 dates?
Possibly, yeah, but I think you need to be 100% on that person to introduce them to your kid.
I think it's a right thing to do.
Huh?
I think it's a right thing to do.
Yeah, it is, yeah, definitely. Like, I know there's a girl that I used to work with, and she would be going out with someone for like 6 months before she'd actually introduce him to her young boy.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time would have split up with that person before that 6 months, and she's glad that she didn't, for one reason or another. She's glad that she didn't like mix the two.
Yeah.
And get like the kid's hopes up that there's going to be, because obviously the partner is going to always make an effort with the kid, so it will be like heartbreaking to the kid as well if something happens to happen in the relationship.
I always used to just be a pain in the arse, and Mum used to bring guys back. Just be a little bastard. I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah, no, I think you're right. Like, but yeah, I think as well this shows your character to him.
Yeah.
As well, I think if you're gonna like keep bringing it up, or fair enough. Obviously, it's a new relationship, and you want to see each other. But I think as well, you've got to sort of show that you're patient and understanding. I think if I had a daughter, and I would obviously do the same, a son or a daughter, and I would do the same thing and be like, "Oh, I'm not gonna have you round." But then if I kept getting messages like, "Oh, you know, trying to make me feel guilty for not spending more time together,"
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
I'd be like, I don't really want to. I've got so much to do and look after my child. I don't really need someone guilt tripping me into trying to see.
Yeah,
more.
it could possibly go that way, and it ends up being a negative thing in his eyes, rather than because obviously our listener's got the best intentions and doesn't see her splitting up with this guy and stuff. But this guy could have introduced someone too early in the past, and it's panned out badly. Like there's a lot of variations that could happen, and I don't know. Like, obviously, I have no experience in this whatsoever because my parents were always together, so I've never dealt with that as a kid.
Jamie and his happiest childhood.
Well, as happy as you can be.
Just rubbing it in every chance you get. just get that salt and lime out. Just you know what I mean? And then like obviously I don't think I had a casual thing with a girl that had a young kid once. Like she was like a young mum. But that was I literally just slept with her 3 or 4 times and didn't think much more of it. But like that, the kid didn't come into my mindset at that time because I was only like in my very early 20s, I think, at the time. But yeah, it shows you want the commitment. I think you just need to be patient with the guy and just think about how he's pursuing it, and like maybe question the fact that has he introduced someone before and it's gone wrong. I think if you show maturity over the situation and just don't let him ride it out forever, because some guys will just let it be a situation where he's comfortable in the situation like how it is and it doesn't want to change it. But kind of just say to him like, oh, how many months in do you think we'll be before we can do this? See, I wouldn't even go that far. I would probably I would leave it 3 or 4 months and then try and be like, oh, why don't we go out for lunch and you can bring so and so and like make it like go to like somewhere where like the adventure like parks and things.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Depending on how old the kid is, and be like, well, then me and you could spend time together, and the kid can like go off and play, and it's sort of like it's like a neutral sort of exciting place to meet someone.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. But yeah, you know, you've got to trust that, because obviously the only thing he's going to do is have his kids interested before anyone else's.
Yeah, and if you, that's just the way it is, isn't it? When you get with someone that's already got previous kids.
But then that just shows that that's, you know, I mean, if I've dated a few people, and my ex, I think, oh man, I must have met her kid like 3 days after pumping her.
What a way to fucking word it.
Well, you say dating, but we're just like, yeah, that's what it was, wasn't it? And then it was like, do you want to come over mine? I was like, okay. And then boom, there's a kid. And I'm like, whoa. It's like,
did you know the kid was going to be there?
Yeah, but it was like thrown. It wasn't like, oh, here's my kid, and then he's going out with my mum. It was like, here's my kid. Let's go for a walk. Let's go up up to the field. And it's like, I've just spent a whole day with someone else's kid, and I have no idea what I'm doing. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, everyone's like obviously different parents and stuff like that, and you can sort of judge a person's character by the way they have people around their child. Yeah. So to me, this guy sounds, you know what I mean, like he's doing the right thing. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, just keep in mind that obviously, like Jamie says, you don't want him to drag out till like the ends of the earth, but you got to be careful when bringing it up, because it's going to put a lot more stress because he's already worried about it. And if you keep bringing it up, that could end up being a bit of a, I hate that word, ick. What was the old term for it?
Red flag.
No, that's gay as well. Yeah, it could put him off. I'm not going to use those fucking terrible terms. I hate that. There's this funny guy on TikTok that every time a video comes up where a woman's like, "Do you see? What was the last one I saw?" Oh, this guy goes to this woman, "What's a red flag for you?" Oh no, what's an ick for you? And she goes, "A guy that, what was it? Something like a guy that showers bare feet or something." And they were like, "What?" And then what he does is the guy takes the video, moves it.
Oh yeah,
and
I've
he's got a
seen that.
list,
Yeah.
and he rolls down the list of like all the icks, and then he writes it at the bottom. I'm like, that's fucking brilliant.
Because there's some ridiculous one. I see one where a girl was like, "Oh, when a man, my biggest ick is when a man decides that he's going to have a heart attack halfway through a football match or something." And I was like, and then he just ported to the side and put, "Don't die."
I think another one was a woman hates it when a guy trips over but doesn't quite fall over and saves himself. She found that quite unattractive.
I was like,
So what? So you want him to trip over and smash his face on the floor? That's more attractive than saving it.
see, this is the
like,
problem with 2023, man. Like, we've got people have been given too much rope. Yeah.
Yeah.
They've got too much opinion. There should not be this much amount of opinion coming out of these fucking idiots' mouths.
Everyone is going to do something at some point where you're going to go a bit like, "Oh, I didn't like that," but that's just people. That's not everyone. People doing that for years. Those, you know what I mean? Brad Pitt could do something that's completely unattractive, but you can't help that.
It's like I see there's a video of what I would only describe as a wildebeest. Yeah.
Oh, it's not that Gorlock.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
rather. Oh yeah.
So this is a guy that's transitioned into a woman.
Oh, is it a bloke?
Yeah, it's a transsexual.
Oh man, I thought it was just a really unfortunate woman.
Yeah. If it was a woman, I would be a little bit more thing about it. But he sat there, or she sat there using. I don't know. He is it she? They. Whatever the pronouns will be. They sat there on this podcast, and they. And
oh, I know the one you're going to say about
they were like, "I'm a
would
10
you
out of
say
10.
you're a
I'm
10?
a bad bitch." I was like, 10 out of 10. You the audacity. 10 out of 10. There's a lot of women that are absolutely beautiful that are not 10 out of 10s because of like their.
I don't think anyone's a 10 out of 10.
You have to be beautiful and have an amazing personality to be a 10 out of 10.
There's no. I think if
It's
someone was like, "I'm a 10 out of 10,"
impossible.
it's like, all right, mate. Like, you can't see your own flaws if you think you're a 10 out of 10.
Like, I'm all about self-confidence, yeah. But there's a difference between self-confidence and delusion, yeah. I'm not going to sit on this podcast and say to people, "I'm a 10 out of 10 looking guy." It's not going to happen. No, I wouldn't even say I'm a clean 8. I would say I'm a mid-table guy, yeah. I'm like the Everton of the Premier
when I got
League.
up at that barber seat.
Yeah.
I fucking looked at myself and I was all night. Every time I went to the toilet, I was like, yeah.
Yeah, I told you, changes your life. Good skin fade changes your life. But yeah, I couldn't believe it. I did feel sorry for them. Her, because they went on to Aiden Ross, did a thing with Aiden Ross recently. That's all over TikTok at the minute, and they're absolutely like basically bullying her. I feel sorry for her in that way, but
was it something about tipping her £3 and putting it through the slot of her teeth or something?
Yeah, like throwing a nickel through the gap of their teeth at the front.
Yeah.
Because as I have maintained this, don't trust a person that's got a gap in their teeth, Dan. There's 2 rules in my world, yeah. A person that's got a gap in their teeth, you don't trust them. And if someone's over the age of 25 and does not drive, there's something wrong.
Fuck you.
What?
Fuck you. I didn't drive till I was 27.
Well, you were marginally there. You were learning.
Oh, you're a massive. I didn't need to drive. I still got my hole without driving, so that says something. Thank you very much.
The thing is, you didn't need to, did you? at the time.
No, Luton you don't really
No.
need to, no. Just walk everywhere.
But there's quite a few people that have proved that fucking theory right in the last recent years that I've known.
I don't trust anyone, Jamie. That's my rule. Don't trust anyone. No one can be trusted.
DTA.
What?
DTA, don't trust anyone.
Yeah, just be patient. Like, it's hard when you first meet someone because obviously you want to spend all the time in the world together. But just keep in mind that he's doing the best for his child, and that, you know, if you're patient and things are still going well, and it's better to go slowly. You'll build a better relationship that way than jumping head first in. What's that? Jump in head first.
Yeah.
Your relationship will be stronger because you've taken that time, and you won't become sort of like so reliant on each other. So just enjoy it. You know, every time you meet up, just make sure you're doing something, you know, interesting, not just wasting it.
Yeah, if anything, it should help build your relationship.
Yeah. Much better to go small. Fuck it. The amount of times I've ran in head first, and then 2 years down the line, I'm like,
what have I done?
Need to chop my fucking head off.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or then I'm very hard at balancing, so after that I was like, I'm going to go really slow. And then I went so slow that the person didn't even know I was there. So yeah, no, you'll be fine. And if not, we're always here. That sounds really sad, doesn't it? Me and Jamie are never going anywhere. We're going to be right here.
We're always going to be here.
Forever. Yeah. Like a reliant old dog. Hey, gentlemen. Thanks for the sound advice, and I'm making slow steps in the right direction. The other half is very off of me still, but it's getting better. It's the one that posted an old video on Facebook.
Oh, yeah, fucking hell. Yeah.
We have a wedding coming up next week, and I'm considering staying sober for the event and driving us home. This would always be a hard no for me, but in the light of recent events, I think it may be for the better. What do you guys think? Weddings are a difficult party to be sober at, don't you think? Would you go sober to help mend the bridges? Many thanks as always.
I would hate going to a wedding sober, but if I was in your position, I would possibly do it.
I would 100% stay sober.
Yeah.
100%. Because if you go there and you're like, I'm going to have a drink because it's a wedding, she's not going to drink because she thinks that she can't trust you not to make an idiot of yourself. Now you're ruining her day.
Yeah. And if it's he hasn't specified, but if it's a family event and not like a friend's wedding, some of the people that saw your Facebook are going to be there. So you don't want to be explaining yourself half cut.
Yeah. And I tell you right now as well, if I got drunk, I'd be telling everyone, I'm like, in my head, I'm drunk and I'm like, right, this is the perfect opportunity now. I can go fix all these different things. And in the end, I've just made myself a bigger hole.
Yeah, and then you'll be known as the guy that put the nudes on fucking Facebook.
Yeah. And that almost sounds impressed with himself because he went around telling everyone about it.
He was like, did you see my backstroke?
Look at my piece I whipped out. Nah, fuck that. Imagine standing next to the fucking the bride's dad talking about your things on Facebook. Nah, fuck that. No, I think staying sober is a good idea. And I think if you've already thought about it, I think that's a good step because obviously you know it's probably for the best. We ain't going to tell you to go there and get hammered.
No, definitely not. Like, I'm a big advocate for enjoying yourself and stuff, but at this point in your life, when you fucked up as bad as you did, I think the best thing for you to do is to keep a clear mind. Definitely.
Yeah. And like I said, if you're not getting drunk, she doesn't feel like she has to
babysit,
worry about it.
Yeah.
So you're basically saying to her, like, you go have a good time, and as my punishment, I'm going to make sure you get home okay and nothing goes wrong. Yeah.
And hopefully you're a good enough person when you're sober, because I'm a miserable bastard. If I'm in like a pub or something and everyone else is drinking, I do not want to be there. So just try and not be in that mindset that I would be in. Do as I say, not as I do, as we've said before on the pod.
Yeah, I would just be stuffing my face. Be like, oh, is that another tray coming past? Just leave that there, mate. It's okay. Be that sad, depressed guy in the corner with like 7 empty trays of canapes.
Be like, why is Dan eating so much? Oh, he sent nudes on Facebook a couple of months ago.
and now he can't drink. And then you'll be like, where's Dan gone? Oh, he's eating loads of things he can't, so now he's sitting on the toilet. He's ruined his day. That'd be it. But no, yeah, definitely. I don't know if I've ever cocked up so much that I've had to sort of like do something like that. I've got my brothers, Logan, my youngest brother, who's just his birthday was the other day.
Yeah.
Has only just got his first job, and Toby is tighter than a Nat's nasty. Like, you couldn't pry the money out of his cold dead hands. That's how tight he is. So like, Logan's mate Kyle's turning 18, and he's invited us all to the party, which is, it was not that far. It's like a 2-minute drive for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, I'd be more than happy to come. So we were at the restaurant the other day, and I was like, oh, we'll just get a taxi. And both of them at the same time was like, do you know how much the taxi costs? And I was like, yeah, it'd be like a tenner. No, it won't. It'd be like £400. I'm like, what fucking century do you live in that it's going to cost £400 to get a fucking taxi? And then Logan's like, oh, Uber it. And I was like, you can't get Uber in Glenrothes. We're in the fucking sticks. Like, they don't even know what Uber is.
No, it's not reached you yet.
No, and then Toby's like, oh, I wonder if I'll get caught if I can have a couple drinks and drive. And I'm like, I'm not letting you... what kind of brother would let my other brother drive fucking drunk, Toby? Shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's stupid, yeah.
So it's going to end up in me fucking paying for it, innit? So I'm going to have to do some phone calls tomorrow and figure out...
Yeah, but between the three of you, it'd be next to nothing.
Yeah, and Sabina.
And yeah, four of you
of
then
us.
be next to nothing.
Exactly.
Be like
I'm
£10
not going
each,
to an
maybe.
18th. I'm 36. I'm not going to an 18th sober. That's not happening.
No.
Kyle's a really nice guy, and I really like him because I invited him out for the meal for my birthday.
Mm.
So I'm happy to go, but there's no fucking way. No fucking way.
No, I wouldn't be doing it either. There's no fucking way I'd do
No.
it. Honestly, I think, like, between 4 people, the most you're going to pay is, like, 20 quid each way or 25 quid each way. And between 4 people, that's like £10 each.
I can't imagine, because you know where I live, like, you know where Mum lives, so you'd have to go to Mum, literally down, like, 2 minutes down the road to pick me up, and then 2 minutes down the road again to pick Choppers at the venue.
Yeah, it's not even... You wouldn't even be paying 20 quid each way.
No. It'd be like 5 quid each, max.
Yeah.
I'm going to make a few calls. I'll tell you right now, if they're not going to... Because obviously I went out the other day and I've got Prague coming up. I don't want to spend too much money, but I'm not going. I'll drive them there and I'll stay for like an hour, and then I'll fucking leave Logan there if that's the way it has to be. But I'm not staying there all night fucking sober.
No way.
Nursing a Coke.
No way. Not an 18th.
Nah.
I was at my cousin's 18th. I felt like I was 85. So there's no way I was going to stay sober there.
No. And how am I supposed to make a tit out of myself sober? Doesn't make good podcast content, does it? You know what I mean? Oh, Dan, how was the 18th? Oh, I drank a Coke and I ate some nibbles and then I came home.
Just burst through the door. It was like, have you ever had a skin fade before?
New and improved Dan. But you can still have a good time. If anything, just spend all the time with the kids. They're all sober as well, so you'll be all right.
Yeah.
They're always a good laugh as well at party. But keep up the good work. I mean, it's not going to last forever.
No.
A few more good deeds like this, and then it'll be forgotten.
Definitely.
And you can go back to normal then.
Definitely.
Well, semi-normal. We don't want you to go down that road again.
Yeah, you don't. I would delete your Facebook if I was you, to be honest. If you haven't already.
Oh, mate, I think every day about deleting my Facebook. So it says, hey, 2 men, the cheese story was something that made me chuckle and cringe all in one motion. I've been travelling for some time now and I'm on my way home in a few weeks, but I'm struggling with the idea of living back home and picking up some seasonal work. I'm from the Isle of Wight and everyone almost knows each other there. And to top it off, most of the population are retired. It's just not my type of place. But for my visa to get back out east requires for me to be in my country for 3 months. I don't want to upset my parents by telling them I'm going to hang around for the minimum amount of time, but I can't stand the thought of being home too long. Any suggestion on how to tell them? Isle of Wight is a fucking... For anyone like that's not in the UK, Isle of Wight, you could drive from one side to the other in about 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's where is it? It's down between England and France, isn't it?
I can have a look. But we always used to go there for like holidays. Like my granddad used to like it over there.
Yeah.
And there's nothing there. Literally nothing there.
I've never been there in my life.
You get a ferry over. That's like it's literally an island, yeah. You get a ferry over. Nothing there.
All I can imagine of the Isle of Wight is like old school Britain, where like they still got Woolworths and fucking.
Yeah, basically, yeah. It's right at the bottom. It's near Portsmouth.
Right. Okay. So it's not as south as I thought it was.
But it's like, yeah, it's where like all the old people retire. There's nothing there. You drive from, like I said, one side. When we went, the only time I really remember, because we went a few times, I remember we had like it was like a resort, not a resort. What's it called? Like a park. Is it a park?
Well, like a caravan park, like a holiday park.
Sort of, yeah, but they were like proper buildings.
Like a chalet, like a holiday park, like a chalet.
Yeah, holiday park. Yeah. And they had a theatre there. That's where I saw the Spice Girls. That's how long ago it was. The Spice Girls movie I saw there.
Fucking hell.
But I remember, like, that's the only thing I remember from that weekend in that place. Because I remember we went to the seaside once. And then I just hung around the holiday park and went to the cinema to watch stuff like that. And then I remember winning 20 quid on a machine, which I probably wasn't supposed to be playing. And that was about it. That's the Isle of Wight.
Yeah, fuck that. If I was this listener, I'd just be honest, man. Just go back and say, look, I want to go out and travel for a little bit longer. See where life leads me.
I think you should enjoy being home. I think, like, obviously, it's nice to be away in that. And then, I'm sure your family understand. If you've been away already, then they know you're not going to stay.
Yeah.
But I think you should enjoy the time that they get to see you. I think you should act like you're happy to be there.
I think you will be as well. Like, you'll be happy to see your family, and you'll be happy to see friends and that haven't moved out of the Isle of Wight. The thought of it when you're
Portsmouth's not a bad place either.
What, Portsmouth itself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a short ferry. It's not even, you know what I mean? But like 40 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So you could go like elsewhere in the UK as well and spend some time around the UK. I do think it's something when it's like when you're on holiday and you're like, oh, I don't want to go home yet. That's the feeling the listener's having. I think when you're actually back there, it's not going to be as bad as you think it's going to be.
No,
it's always nice to be home, even if it is boring.
Seasonal work is crap.
Seasonal work,
especially you don't know what he's been doing. Yeah, but yeah, when I first went over to. Is it the first or second time? The first time I went over to Canada, there was a guy who was from Dunstable, funny enough.
Okay.
That Jim was friends with. And when I went back over the second time, I was like, oh, where is he? And he's like, oh, he's had to go home because over there you get, like, say, like a sponsor from where you work.
Yeah.
And he was a chef, and they kept like, yeah, it's fine, we'll sponsor you. And they never did. So he had to do the same. He had to come home for 3 months. He had to give up his flat. He had to sell all of his shit because he had nowhere to put it.
Fuck.
He went back home, and then he came back over and he stayed with Jim's parents while he got himself back on his feet.
Jesus, man.
Yeah. So it's a real fucking headache to but you know what I mean. That's what the countries require. Over here, you don't. You know what I mean?
Well, you could be doing. You get given a house. You get given all kinds of bullshit. I watched a documentary of this Romanian fella who's claiming welfare benefits for his 8 kids that are living in Romania. And he's here by himself in a house with about 20 other blokes. Just collecting scrap metal on the weekends. And he's claiming benefit for 8 kids.
I feel bad for someone, though, with like I watched that Slum Landlords, and they go into the properties that they've halved rooms, and they charge people so much money to stay in this like tiny little room, taking advantage of them. But then I think to myself, well, welcome to England, because we're in that shithole as well.
The thing is that they get away with it. There's like until they're eventually stopped. There's like sometimes they've got like 20, 30 people living in one house.
Yeah, I know, and I think to myself, I wonder how many I can fit in mine.
Yeah. Just
Make
like
some money.
give them the downstairs or something, or the upstairs or something.
Yeah. They're like, I love it when they put in like fake walls and it's like half through the window, and you could see it from the outside. There's like a half room. Yeah, I think, like I said, your family's gonna know. I mean, I don't know how long you've been away, so like you're worrying about telling them, but they're probably already. You just got to say to them, you're like, oh, I'm only back for the visa. I'm gonna find some work and stuff like that, and then just enjoy the time with them. That's what they want. They just want to see you.
Yeah.
I mean, so don't put too much stress on it, and just enjoy the shitey weather in England and the terrible pay, and then get the fuck out again.
Just think. I would think of the seasonal work literally as putting money aside to go back away, get back away somewhere else.
Yeah. And to pay for the ferry to get off the Isle of Wight. Seriously, man, there's nothing there. Nothing there. As soon as I read that, I was like, oh, man, that's rough. I remember dating a girl, and her grandparents lived there, and driving in the car all the way down there to go see these people that are old as fuck. One of those proper houses that like hasn't changed time, and they've got like a gazebo thing not a gazebo.
Conservatory.
Conservatory, yeah. And they sit in there and listen to the fucking rain.
Yeah, man.
It's like, And I'm just sitting there like, where's the TV? Please put the TV on. Someone say put the TV on.
So you can distract yourself somehow.
Yeah, so I'm not bored. Because that's before, like, people don't realise, because obviously I'm not that old, but phones were rare back then. So I couldn't even sit on like fucking
TikTok.
Play a game on my phone, or sit on TikTok. Yeah, I literally had to sit there and interact with these people. That's what it's like in Isle of Wight. So I feel for you, man.
It's like going back 300 years, Dan. It's like going back 300 years.
But enjoy it, and then hopefully you get back out there and enjoy yourself out there. So safe travels, man. Let's see. As always, sound advice, guys. I see Jamie's away. He looks like he's having a great time, and I'm looking forward to some good holiday stories. You didn't really have any holiday stories this time, did you?
Not really. We weren't
gone
that long. It was only doing the 6 days.
Yeah, you moaned about the flight. I think that was about it.
Yeah, it was lovely. Other than the flight, it was nothing really to report. It was good food. It had I didn't have to eat at the all-inclusive buffet. There was like 7 restaurants in the hotel, so I just had different 3-course meal every night. Can't argue with it.
Fucking, you got a bag of salt there or something? Just grabbing hands of it and just rubbing it in my eyes. Can't wait to go to Prague. I'm going to be like, oh yeah, I stayed here and then I ate all this food and I didn't have to worry about it. And the weather seemed alright, and then I'm just going to keep rubbing it in, Jamie. Be ready.
You should go away more, Dan. Then you won't be so salty about me going away.
If I had more money, I would go away, Jamie, wouldn't I? But I don't have any. I was away this year and caught an awful bug when I was in the hotel, and I've been trying to fight to get the money back from it since. Anyway, I'm looking for some advice on my latest fiasco I've caused at work. Oh, you like this one, Jamie? I gossiped with some people for a while. I then felt bad on the person at the root of the rumour, and I thought because it's common knowledge, I decided to tell him that people were saying this about him. He asked where I got it from, and I said I couldn't say because I didn't want to admit that I was part of the gossip myself. I've really dug myself a hole and not sure how to get out of it. Please help. Jamie loves to gossip at work.
I do like a good gossip. My advice is wait it out. Like in a couple of weeks' time, there'll be something new on the agenda, and no one's going to remember. So, unless it's something damning, then
there's that. Yeah.
Unless it's something damning, then I wouldn't worry about it too much. Like there's been times where I've said something to the wrong person, it's got round, and I've just had to wait it out because I know that in a week or so's time, someone else is going to pull some bullshit that's going to cover up every mistake I've made.
Or join in with that person and make a new rumour at somewhere else to make him feel included.
Yeah, possibly. Or make a person up. That's what you could do. He's like, oh, I heard it from Jimmy down on the other side of the line. They'll be like, well, who? I was like, you Jimmy? Yeah, he's got one eye and he's got a lisp. And they're like, what? I've never seen anyone like that. I'm just like, yeah, he's on nights.
He's on nights. Jamie just likes to dig himself a bigger hole. Lie to the end of the earth. Lie to the end of the earth.
Sometimes you just keep going. Deny.
The main thing here is that when you're gossiping, leave emotions out of it because you shouldn't feel bad for that person.
Yeah.
I love a good fucking...
Yeah, you shot yourself in the foot
I told you about the one that... there's this... the Polish guy, he had some people from work round and they got him absolutely smashed, and then when he passed out, they like tag teamed his missus.
No, I didn't hear about that.
Yeah. Oh, it made me feel really uncomfortable because I was like... So there's this guy and like his missus is there. And they had a few people round, and they just kept giving him vodka.
Mm.
And then he passed out on the sofa, and they just basically... Two of them went at his missus in the room where like the guy was passed out.
No.
Yeah.
Fucking hell, man.
And then like everyone at work knew. Like I said, it could be a complete rumor, and I have no idea if it, because they're still together now. And the rumor was like 3-4 years ago, but everyone knew about it. Everyone knew.
Mate, I'd have to leave work. I'd leave work, leave her. I'd leave everything.
Yeah. Oh, it made me like, I felt so bad because I don't like stuff like that.
Mm.
Like like I said to you, I don't like to share. So the thought of someone, I can't. No. So when I look over and I just looked at him and like, so I could see them holding hands on their break, and I'm just like, you dirty bitch.
You just go over and spit with her.
Yeah. I'm like, how could you do it to him? Because he's actually a really nice guy. And then people are like, oh yeah, but East Europeans, they're like that, aren't they? They don't give a fuck. I'm like, I'm pretty sure he'd give a fuck if he woke up and he saw his missus getting spit roasted.
Oh, definitely. Fucking definitely.
Yeah, I mean, just because his mates don't care about it, I'm pretty sure he fucking well does.
It was one of the worst fucking situations in my life when I'd obviously like caused that controversy when me and Charlotte first got together, and I had cheated on the girl with someone in the shop, and I was best friends with her brother, and it was just such a shit show. And I just remember walking into work like thinking, how the fuck am I going to get through this shift every day, right up until it eventually like fucking resolved itself. And I was just like,
I loved that day because I didn't go because I can't remember what happened. And the guy we were really good friends with, I can't remember his name, I think it was Mark. He come into the bakery and he was like, dude, you never guess what happened. And I was like, what? And he was like, I had to spend the whole night pretending Jamie was in the toilet trying to stop his fella's missus going in there because he thought that Jamie was being sick and he was in the car park banging shit. And I was like, no way. I was like, you didn't fucking like that one anyway. He's like, yeah, but I was trying to help out and I had to keep stopping her from charging in to make sure he wasn't dying.
Horrific human being, I am. Absolute bastard.
Fucking well funny.
When you're young, that's what I put it down to.
Yeah. But yeah, that's the thing with rumours, right? You don't know if they're true. And like, to be fair, like if someone had a rumour about me, I'd rather not know about it.
Mm.
I don't care if you felt bad about it being about me or anything like that. I just don't want to know. What they don't know, don't hurt them.
Yeah, definitely. I think there's a lot of rumours. There's probably been lots of rumours said about you. Lots of rumours go around, especially places like factories and that. Rumours is the commodity. Like,
yeah, it's boredom, innit? They just make it out of boredom.
Yeah. I go round to certain people that I know are gossips just to pick up gossip.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I miss the guy in the mornings that I used to give a lift to at work because he used to give me all the stuff from the office.
Mm.
And I used to know who was sleeping with who, and so now I don't get any of it. So, nah. I think Jamie's right. If you keep like trying to patch it over and stuff like that, you're just going to end up unraveling the whole thing.
Yeah, you keep highlighting it. I think it will bite you in the arse.
Yeah, so just ignore it, pretend you never said anything, and like I said, keep the emotions out of gossip. Don't feel bad about that person because they don't know. What do you feel bad for them for? They don't know what's going on.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the fucking problem. Cheers for the advice on 76. I'm sure to keep it in mind before any decisions. That was about the threesome.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
In other news, I've been gaming for many years now, and my gaming group has dwindled to just 2 guys after people being married off and have kids. It's still really my hobby, and my partner hates it with a passion. Can you guys recommend any ways or means to meet the other gamers, and or can I get my partner interested when she clearly isn't? Thank you.
Getting partners interested is hard. Like,
I wouldn't either.
Yeah.
I had that a few before my last one. It was one before my last one. She wasn't interested in games, and I managed to get her into it, and it was the worst fucking thing I'd ever done, because she used to then come round mine, and she would be like, "Oh, I've got to go on the Xbox at 7 o'clock to talk to some guy because he needs help getting this achievement," and then I'd sit in my own fucking room while she's flirting with some fucking guy on Xbox, and I'm sitting there watching her play it.
Fuck it, yeah.
It was awful.
Yeah.
One of the worst things that ever fucking did. She actually, one of her kids is named after a computer game character.
And it was you that created that.
I was the one that started that. Yeah. So it was awful. Fucking trying to get to sleep at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and she's still talking to all these fucking guys,
Mate.
from around the world. Oh, it was awful. So I wouldn't recommend it. Not at all.
There's been a few times me and Charlotte have played together, but I just think it's been imprinted into us growing up that we played it since we were kids. That's why we're so into them and can get like fully lost in games. Where I think girls never bothered when they were younger, so they just haven't got the attention span for it. They don't want it. They're not bothered. Obviously, there's a few exceptions, and I don't think it's worth forcing on someone. I think I don't know. I don't even know where you would find friends online at all.
You just send messages when you're in games, right? Like if you're playing, say, like COD, and you're like, "Oh, that guy's really good," you'd send them a message and be like, "Oh, do you want to play together?" You can get forums, Reddit.
Yeah, that's true.
Discord.
Reddit. I've never
if you've
thought
got a
about that.
specific game, like for you, you'd be able to go on Discord and you would be able to find, like, say, your favourite team on that game, and there'd be people that just play on that team.
Mm.
And you'd be able to like jump in and send a message, and they'd be like, "Oh yeah, come play with us," because they're really computer people, unless they're like fucking kids, are really sort of like welcoming.
Mm.
Yeah, I mean, it's only the dickheads you meet on random servers that spoil it for the rest.
For our listeners, I am looking for a 5th man for our rec team on 2K. So if you're on European
we had
servers,
that listener last week. we had that guy last week. You have to send him an email.
Yeah, I will.
So yeah, but I mean, you find as well, like, yeah, the partner hates it, but does she have a hobby?
Yeah, that's true.
Because some relationships, like especially with like the female side, they see their partner as a hobby.
Mm.
So like they're like, "Oh, you're sitting on your game talking to other people, and they're waiting for you to do something interesting with them."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe what you should do is try and help them find a hobby that they can sort of occupy themselves with while you're doing the like gaming.
I do think as well you do need to time it right as well. Like, there's a lot of girls that I know get frustrated with their guys because their guys would spend like 5-6 hours a day on gaming.
Mm.
And if you're working and then you're coming home and spending 5 or 6 hours on the game, what time do you have for your partner?
Yeah.
So I think there is I tend to only play on like a Friday night when I'm off the next day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think keeping that balance is healthy. Otherwise, I do play when Charlotte's out. Like today, when I got home at 2 o'clock from work, Charlotte wasn't back till 5:30. I went and did some exercise, and then once I'd exercised, I come back in and I played a game for half an hour, 45 minutes. And then like it drives her mad that I'm finishing it up when she gets in, but I'm not playing it like the entire time. Do you know what I mean? I don't like playing games in front of people as well. I think it's strange. It's like being on. I think it's like being on the phone in front of someone. Like if you're on the phone, any normal person would pick the phone up and then leave the room and be like having their conversation outside of the room. But no, psychopaths sit there on the phone in front of you, and I think that's what people do when they game in front of a partner. I think it's really strange thing to do.
Yeah, it's all a balancing act. Like I said before, like with people's habits, when you move in, you've all got to like compromise and things like that.
Yeah, definitely.
So, but yeah, you just got to send messages, and yeah, with your partner, you just got to try and help them find something to do while you're doing that. I think that's what I would do. I'd be like, well, why is she annoyed at me playing this? What's she doing while I'm playing? And if she's just sitting there watching telly or she's not doing anything, maybe she needs some ideas.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that could be an avenue to go down.
Yeah, but I would try and stay away from her joining in. The most I would ever do is I like board games and things. So like on the computer you get like Tabletop Simulator, which is like board games on your computer.
Right.
And I would do something like that. So you're sort of interacting with like the technology and that, and she sort of, if she enjoys it, then she won't feel as annoyed with you doing it on the Xbox. But even then, do you really want her in your hobby?
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like I played Tekken and that with Charlotte. She broke my controller.
Yeah.
So,
like I love doing the arcades with Sabina and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't want to play Tekken at home because you're not getting your break or your relaxation. Then are you? You're just
exactly, like
still... Today
it sounds really geeky, but I was playing Ark and I was just like making fucking houses for my dinosaurs. Yeah. Which is so dull, but it's just like therapeutic switching off after I've like my knee was hurting because I just did a workout and I was just like turning my brain off for a minute. Where if I had someone else to be interacting with, then it would be a lot different. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So try those few things, see how it goes, and let us know. See if you can come up with something. If she really, really hates it, then you're just going to have to do it in secret, like a dirty little secret thing. Like you're up to no good. So Zina says, I went with booking Venice. Thank you so much. I'm due to surprise her this weekend. We're doing bowling and a dinner date night next week. So I'm going to surprise her then with some flowers and a card saying the holiday details.
I hope
not
that card's laminated.
Unfortunately for you, David. No, he said not laminated.
Oh, not laminated.
I was like, I think I'm more frustrated by that than Jamie will be. That was like one of my favourite conversations we've had in a long time. Where you laminating. I just wanted to say thank you to you both for your comments. Do you have any daily personal hang-ups like I have, and have been helped with, that the listeners don't already know about you already? Oh, personal hang-ups.
Daily personal hang-ups?
Yeah, because what was his, like, wasn't he going on holiday?
Yeah, he was body conscious.
Take his shirt off and, yeah. You're very much like that, isn't you, Jamie?
I'm definitely body conscious. I'm overweight, so I'm body conscious. I think that's pretty well documented on the podcast, though. Yeah. I do have this enormous sense of, like, I don't know. I would probably say it's like an anxiety thing that I never had previously. I would say that's probably a daily hang-up. Like I find it harder and harder sometimes to do things that I wouldn't normally do. Like if I was to go to a shop that I wouldn't know what the shop's like and not been there before, it would take me ages to just hype myself up to go and do it. Shit like that. And really, it sounds ridiculous, but I've never been like that in my life. And then sometimes it happens.
Yeah, no, I get that. The unknown. Yeah, I'm when I first started going to Perth, and I had to go in a different Asda, and it was laid out different. It felt like a different fucking world. I was freaking out, so I didn't know anything was. And I was like, sometimes I'd message Sabina, and she'd be like, "What are you doing?" I'd be like, "What am I doing?" I was like, "I'm fucking lost in Asda for the last 10 minutes trying to find a pack of ham. That's what I'm doing. I know where I'm going." I was walking up and down like a fucking migrant.
Freaking out, yeah.
Yeah. So no, I get that. One of my I've always struggled with is I don't like it. It worries me about looking stupid in front of people. So like that's what puts me off, like trying to do stand up and stuff like that. Like anything, like doing when I was younger, and we would have like game nights, and they'd want to do charades. Charades scares the fuck out of me.
Oh, really?
Like if anyone brought that up, I would try and find a way out of the room. To like, and that's like stand up, right? Like I want to do it, but the thought of standing up and everyone staring at me and me making a fool of myself scares the absolute living shit out of me.
Yeah, would do me as well.
Yeah, and that's in every sense. Like sometimes at work when they want me to do something new, and I know there people are looking at me, and I might make a mistake, or like going to the gym and I might drop something, or I might do an exercise wrong, and people will think like, "Oh, that guy's stupid." It's easier for me to not do any of it and not get noticed than to make a mistake.
Yeah, to avoid the situation altogether.
Yeah.
One thing I realise I do have about myself as well is, like, I've mentioned this before on the podcast as well, is that the thought of smelling, like having bad body odour or something like that, is like an obsessive thing with me. Like, I'm finding myself spraying myself like all the time, and it's like fucking mental. When I think about it, I'm going through so much shower gel, so much deodorants and all that, and it's because I'm obsessed with it. But it's been a thing since I was like 13 years old. I've always done it.
You need to get wild. That stuff lasts for fucking ages.
The stuff I got lasts for ages. I smell fine. When I say to Charlotte, if I've not got anything on me, I'd like, smell me. And she's like, "No, I'm not going to smell you." I'll be like, "Smell me now." And she's
Yeah, sometimes when you come up here and you're like, "Dan, have you got any deodorant? Have you got any?" I'm like, "Yeah." like you do it all the time. Yeah, so it's like, see, with the acting stupid thing, it's like purely on my own. Like when I'm with like you or Jim or Sabina and stuff like that, I don't think about it as much.
Yeah.
Because because really I'm just playing up for you three. I don't think about the rest of the room. But like when you're on your own, I'm just like, nah. Oh, fucking charades, man. Seriously, that's the worst fucking.
I didn't realise that was your
honestly,
little Achilles heel.
That give me nightmares, yeah. Because it's that you're trying to... There's so much in that one situational game for me. There's patience, which I don't have. And then there's you trying to understand. So when someone can't understand what I'm coming across, that drives me mad as well. And then there's the being stupid. So I've got to stand up in front of you. I'm not allowed to say anything. I've just got to use hand directions. People aren't getting it. I'm looking stupid. I'm getting more frustrated. My face is like red raw because I'm so like flustered. And then I just give up. I'm like, I can't handle it. I'm literally about to shit my pants with like anger. I just have to give up. I can't do it. I remember a Christmas at my dad's because obviously he doesn't have much family, so it was mostly like his wife's family.
Yeah,
I didn't really know them, and they were like, "Oh, come on, we're gonna play some group games." And I sat in the kitchen. He actually had a go at me, made me feel like shit because I didn't want to join in.
Oh, really?
And I sat there and ate fucking pretzels at the table in the other room on my own for like 3 hours.
Fucking hell.
Because I didn't want to get joined in. And everyone's like laughing and having a good time, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I just can't do it.
Yeah, it shows how deep rooted it is. It shows that we need as much therapy as for people that are writing into us, man.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Like, I listen to the comedians, Joe Rogan, and they're like, you need to just do it, and like you learn so much from not. But I just can't. No matter how much I want to do it, like I can't have that thought of like bombing. It will kill me.
Yeah, like Joe Rogan, it was discussing in the episode I listened to today with Jimmy Carr. He was talking about that he used to be painfully shy when he was a teenager, and he would like be scared to go up to like a bank teller in a bank and speak to them and discuss what he wants and stuff like that. And now he's like interviewing like some of the most powerful people in the world and shit like that, and you wouldn't think it's the same person that couldn't speak to people when he was like 16.
Yeah.
But he got through that through doing like jiu-jitsu and learning how to do stand-up and stuff like that. But then he went that way, but some people never get out of that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think, like, as the podcast gets bigger, and, like, if the people want to see us, and, like, we get not forced into, but we get that push into having to be in front, like, I'll get better. But, like, sometimes I think to myself, I need to go do it to, like, promote the podcast, and then I think to myself, nah. No, it's not happening. Nah, not without Jamie, at least. You know what I mean? Like, no way. So you'll have to wait for our stand-up,
or even just a podcast
releases.
stage show, live show or something.
See, I mean, like, because I could go to like London. Like, we're going to go to the podcast convention next year, the proper one, and I could meet people, and I'll be quite happy and content, and like having a laugh and all that sort of stuff. But at the minute, that's as much as I want to fucking.
Yeah, I think we just have to go roll with the punches and see where it goes, and
yeah, exactly.
And our confidence will grow as the podcast does, I think.
Yeah, like if we got an email from someone at a club and was like, "Oh, we'd love you to come down," and I'll be like, "I'm not gonna say no, but I ain't gonna fucking go running looking for myself." You know what I mean? I'll stab myself in the foot. But hopefully, yeah, there you go. There's a little insight into. I just feel like this is all ammo. I feel like if my enemy's listening right now, they're just knowing all of my. I'm gonna end up leaving the house, and there's gonna be a group of people out the back waiting to play charades or something.
Yeah, throwing pretzels at you.
I don't mind the pretzels. I'll take them. I was eating pretzels that are peanut butter in. They were pretty good. I don't hold any grudges against the food. Listener says the cheese story was insane. I gave something similar. See what you both think. I'm a 23-year-old guy living at home with my mum and dad. Life has been pretty basic up till now. I work in the local shop and go out for a laugh with my friends at the weekends. I have this regular at work. He's a divorced guy in his 40s, and he has told me about losing his wife and kids and how it's going in his life, and we gained quite a nice relationship from listening to each other's ramblings in the last year or so. Well, so I thought. I went down to the pub last month with some friends, and we were involved in a pub quiz. We had a 3, but we needed a 4th, so we shouted over the older guy from the bar to give us a hand. That wasn't the other hand he gave me. He rubbed my leg throughout the whole quiz and gestured towards the door a few times, and it became weirder and weirder the more we drank. It was like I was like a deer frozen in the headlights of an oncoming car. Eventually, my good friends saw I was uncomfortable and noticed what was happening and moved the guy to his other side, and the rest of the night seemed okay. The guy finished the quiz and went back to hanging over with his boozing buddies. As the last orders came in, I ran to the bathroom for a quick pee, and in walks the guy, being very apologetic, saying that he had the wrong end of the stick, and I said not to worry about it. As I finished up, he grabbed my arse as I was washing my hands, and I decked him. I'm now barred from my local. But was I not correct in what I did? Safe to say he hasn't come near me since and never pressed charges. There you go, boys. Lesson learned. Don't be nice to customers. I fucking... Too right you fucking decked him. That's assault, man. Mate, wait a second. So... So, the cheese story... is technically assault as well, but
He consented.
He let the act finished, and because he was like, "Did I enjoy it?" and stuff like that. So that's why I didn't scream assault in that one, because it wasn't like he was asking. This one is most definitely assault because you didn't want it, and he came in to apologise and still grabbed you after that.
If this guy almost got raped, like,
yeah.
If that was me, I would have it wouldn't have just been one punch decked him. There would have been a lot more going on. I would have absolutely wild out like a wild animal. I would have locked us both in the bathroom and gone fucking crazy. But it is a weird situation because you don't want to kind of like out the guy because as you said, it's a small town and stuff. but I would go in and see if I could quietly explain it to the landlord of the pub, just to get you.
The landlord, I bet he knew that. Like, if someone's that fucking ballsy,
it's
the
probably not the
landlord
first
probably
time.
already knows that the guy's like that. No, but for some reason he's got some sort of fucking
Loyalty to him.
Like you're the young guy, and it's like, oh, we'll just get rid of him. He probably spends a fucking ton of money
That's
in that
probably
pub.
what it is. If he's recently divorced, he's probably
Yeah.
in there all the time, looking for his next victim.
Why he's like he's divorced and he's lost his kids and that? Is he like, oh, now I'm gonna suck cock?
Mate, there was a fella that
Well, I
worked
suppose
in my
guys are
place for
easier,
years. Yeah, had kids. Seemed like he was an absolute like geezer. He was like a proper geezer. Yeah, and then I was out at one of the most popular bars in Luton is called Flame, which is a gay bar, and everyone goes there because it's like you pay £20 entry and you just have free drinks all night. So I was in there with like a load of the work lads and my brother and all that stuff. And I turned around, this geezer's there. He left work about our place probably about 2 years previous, and he had like this guy was in his like mid-40s. He had like a 19-year-old Armenian boyfriend. I was like, what happened to the wife and kids? He was like, oh, fuck that. Yeah, I'm much happier now. Men are much easier to deal with. I was just like, mate, what the fuck?
Yeah, because if you get into an argument, you can punch the fuck out of him.
Then I was like,
Yeah.
I was like, is he actually 19 or is this guy noncing? And it just got into a whole like weird situation where I was like trying to then avoid him because he kept going to me, oh, the sex is brilliant. And I was just thinking, this is so cringe.
I'm like, yeah, but anuses don't self-lubricate,
mate.
mate, so that's no thanks. It's more money, isn't it? Well, that money on lube, I'd rather not.
But, no, I think the listener was definitely right for fucking... That was, if anything, an underreaction. I think I may have reacted at the table when he touched my leg. So...
Yeah, to let him get away with that for so long.
You're a very patient man.
I think if you hadn't have decked him, then the next time you'd gone in there, he would try more than grabbing your ass.
I think with the grab of the ass would have been the beginning.
To be doing this is what makes me laugh about these people that have got like fucking nuts the size of watermelons. Like the guy that just randomly jerks off some fella that's visiting a factory, and this guy like in a busy pub at a quiz, surrounded by people that aren't his friends, they're the guy's friends, rubbing him up. Like, how you could have been fucked up by that group of people if they felt like it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those three guys could have stood and waited for him to come out of that bar and just beat the fuck out of him for it.
Yeah, he could have ended up being like absolutely killed over it.
Yeah, and that's not a gay... That's because it's assault. You know what I mean? They're not waiting for him because he's gay and they're going to be...
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with this guy. If
like
this guy's
you're
discovered he's
like
gay, then that's all fair enough. Do you know what I mean? But you don't just start fucking making moves on young lads that just happen to be nice to you because you're a customer of theirs. Do you know what I mean? That's taking two things too far. Like, you don't... That's like me going in and then just assuming, if I was single, me just assuming that some random bloke would be into me. That's fucking insane.
I don't assume my nose.
Yeah, but you know,
I attract all directions. It's
just
coming
walking
at me.
windmill in your dick.
Dragging it from behind me, Jamie. That's what I'm doing. But no, it's a shame that obviously that's probably the only pub in your village. But I would say like to go back in and explain what happened. It's not right that he, because if anything, you could have fucking phoned the police because he's fucking grabbing you.
Exactly.
So I would just be like, mate, if you don't want me to call the fucking police, let me drink it again. And where's my prize money? Because you quite clearly run the quiz.
Yeah, I would be like, give me my money.
Where's my money? Where's my money, Brian? But keep your chin up, man. And yeah, stay away from that fucking guy. If anything, bar him from wherever you're working. Be like,
yeah,
no,
I
can't
would.
come near, mate. Assault. Yeah. Oh yeah, full hell. Take a picture of him, put him up on the wall. We love Uncle Joe. Amazing character, as like all of your guests. I have a few quick fire questions. Oh, this is a good one to finish off the episode. Right. If you have to give up tasting food or orgasms for the rest of your life, what would you do?
Oh. No.
That's not fair because tasting food and orgasm is the same thing.
Yeah, well, for some people. I think I'd give up tasting food.
Yeah, because food wouldn't taste as good if you couldn't orgasm.
Exactly, and I think it wouldn't do me any harm not tasting the food. It wouldn't do me any harm at all.
No. Well, either way, because if you couldn't orgasm over it, then it still wouldn't be exciting. So you'd probably like chisel.
Yeah.
You just.
I
eat,
feel
like,
as though
properly,
this sounds terrible to say, and the way I'm going to say it's even worse. A man just chases the nut his entire life. That's all men drive behind. No matter what they say, whether they're quite happy in their life or whatever, a man is just chasing a nut. That's all he's doing.
Yeah, I agree with that. If it doesn't feel good down there,
No.
then it's not worth doing.
No. That's why we work. That's why so we can afford to pay our internet, to look at porn. That's why we fucking get into relationships and deal with other people's bullshit. That's why we do anything. For the tingle in the wingle.
Yeah. Right, if you could pack your bags today and go somewhere with no worry of money ever again, where would you go?
Ooh. I'd possibly
I'd go
America,
to
somewhere like Hawaii or somewhere where I'm close enough to America that I can like go back and forth as much as I wanted, but at the same time I can enjoy the fucking beach the whole time.
See, I'd probably go to like Norway.
Norway, that's a strange place. Strange choice.
I don't know, because I'm not like a. Maybe if you'd asked me 10 years ago, I would probably have said America. But I just like peace and quiet. Like, if I had no money, I'd get a nice house up in the fucking hills of like Norway, where there's like no one about. It's absolutely fucking beautiful. The food's pretty good. The people are friendly.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
The only thing I think
It's all
about
just fucking
that
green hills
in my
everywhere.
head is just like, is the internet going to be good enough, and am I going to be able to order food if I need it?
Well, you got no worry about money. I'd get a fucking satellite built in the back of my garden.
That's true.
My own personal internet, and then I'd just hire a chef to live in my house with me and be like, sorry mate, no friends for you.
That is one of the first things
I'd
I'd do if I became a millionaire, is hire a chef. Yeah.
Got a personal chef, yeah. You ever watch Yellowstone?
Nah, not yet. It's on my list.
They've got a chef in that, and he just makes them. I'm just like, oh, mate, that's fucking that's so good, so good. Are you ready for breakfast yet? Hell yeah, I'm ready for fucking breakfast, mate. Get that on the table. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I'd go anywhere. I think I'd go somewhere quiet. And I always love all the Viking stuff in the Norse. So when I'm bored, I'd like go down and look at all the ships and the history of that sort of stuff. So
I think for me, I need
probably do
heat.
something like that.
I would, if I was to be living somewhere that isn't where I'm living now, it needs to be somewhere nice and warm and all, for as many days of the year as possible, on the beach, nice views. That's my situation.
Nah. I'd much rather it be like fucking 10 inches of snow outside with a massive
Fire.
fucking fire. Yeah. A drink. Just chilling out on a fucking rug. That's like those gay like couples laying on a fucking bearskin rug, but I'm on my own. Feeling the fucking bear's hair around my nuts, just laying there naked on the floor. And lastly, if you had to fight someone to the death for 10 million, would you accept the challenge?
Yes.
Yeah.
1,000,000%.
Yeah. I thought it was going to say, who would you fight? And I was about to say Jamie.
You'd fight me to death, you bastard.
For 10 million. And then I'd give Charlotte
No,
one.
I would find.
Sorry.
Do you remember you said you were sitting next to Gandhi's fucking wife on the plane, I'd find her and beat her to death. Yeah, just two punches.
You could pick anyone. If you would pick anyone, I'd pick like a 5-year-old.
Well, you'd kill a kid
for 10 million. If I could get away with it, yeah.
No, I'd find like a nonce or something.
Okay.
Like I would find like some kind of paedophile that deserves it and just absolutely kill him.
Oh, what's that fella that killed the 2 girls? Hartley.
Yeah, Ian Brady. Is it Ian? No, Ian Hartley. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go for him. I don't like his face, and I don't like what he did. That'd be an easy one. Yeah, 10 million. That's sort. I'm not. I mean, I've not got expensive taste. 10 million would do the rest of my life. Die or have 10 million. I mean, either way, I don't. Have
I won't get beaten in the fight.
Yeah, but you got to remember that the other person wants 10 million as well.
Well, I feel as though what the deal would be is I fight for 10 million, they fight for freedom from prison.
So ultimately, you just come off better either way. But then you got to remember, if they're in prison, man, they're eating 3 meals a day. They're working out.
Oh mate, I'll be taking steroids. There's no steroid clause in it. I'd be fucking pumping myself for the testosterone and fucking going in there like a wildebeest, wailing on them.
Yeah, no, I would just cheat and bring a knife in my pocket. If we're going down, there's no rules. This listener didn't come up with the full.
I would bite their fucking nose off.
Getting now.
Right, so yeah. The tone of the show is the end of the... But no, let me start that again. Fuck, what the fuck am I talking about? Right, yeah. So, to sum that show up, me and Dan would almost do anything for a little bit of a 10 mil. Even fight each other, according to Dan.
10 mil's high. I'd fight Jamie for £10.
What, to the death?
Well, not to the death. Just to, badly maimed. I know you've got a weak leg now as well.
See, this is all due to the works. The works has brought this on.
I don't know. There's been a lot of salt.
There has been a lot of saltiness today, to be fair. As always, guys, if you've got any content ideas, questions, or feedback for the show, send it into twomennohope@gmail.com. And be sure to listen out to the next movie me and Dan will be picking for each other. We'll probably be letting you guys know in the next episode.
Yeah, definitely. Which will be recorded before I go on holiday. Yeah. But, no. What am I thinking? Go to our social medias and follow. And on Spotify, hit that follow, leave them stars if you made it this far, which I'm sure you did. I was going to mention Halloween, but it'd be too late then, because by now we've already recorded it.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, I suppose we would have, yeah.
Yeah. I hate time travel. Yeah, fucking people. Anyway, I need a piss, Jamie, so I'm going to go. So I'll see you Monday.